Welcome back to Get Down to Business. Today, we are shining a light on the incredible work being done to support families and build stronger communities. We are joined by Dr. Alicia Laus, a licensed clinical psychologist and the founder of Family Bridges. This amazing organization empowers families with tools to combat trauma, mental illness, and poverty with a special focus on the Latino community. Dr. Laus, welcome to this show.
So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Family Bridges is celebrating its 20th anniversary. That's 2 decades of making a real difference in the lives of families. We're excited to learn more about your work. What inspired you to found Family Bridges 20 years ago? What specific needs were you seeing in the Latino community that you felt weren't being addressed?
As you can imagine, being in the clinical setting, seeing a lot of children, couples, youth at the 11th hour coming in for crisis and pouring out their hearts, I always wondered, wow, so many people are drowning, and why do we have to wait? What is happening? Why is it that people are drowning? What are the upstream solutions to these downstream problems? So that's the vision of Family Bridges, being able to get behind the problem, right? Being able to equip individuals, couples, students with life skills that help them navigate the challenges, give them tools. How do we communicate? How do we resolve conflict? How do we manage the tension in the world? And do that where people are naturally at, their schools, their communities, their homes. Bring that to them instead of waiting for people to come to a clinical setting to be able to get that service.
And Alicia, I've heard you talk previously about a concerning trend of trauma in some of the families that you have counseled. Can you talk a little bit about the impact of trauma on children and families and how Family Bridges works to break that cycle?
Yeah, unfortunately, so many of the families that we serve have experienced either events, experiences, or that they've witnessed in the community, in the neighborhood, or that they've actually experienced in their own lives. And that kind of trauma could be played out as abusive or something like divorce or violent crime. And because we work with so many under-resourced communities, that is very prevalent. And so that's something that people experience. And then that colors the way that we navigate relationships. People can get stuck. It definitely colors and makes it difficult for people to think through, process things, manage their emotions. We just cope with those challenges in different ways. And some people, as they face new dilemmas, new conflicts, new challenges, they face them head on. Others freeze and they get overwhelmed. And so trauma definitely does influence that. And so one of the things that what we like to do in our programs is equip people with a lot of life skills, mindfulness, how to be able to be in tune with their emotions, how to be really sensitive and alert to what's going on, and then be able to give them these resources and tools so that they understand that that's a part of it. So you can imagine a couple who might be arguing about things like finances. Think about now as the holidays, right? We can get into arguments about Christmas gifts and maybe spending too much. And one of the spouses or both have experienced some type of history of trauma. Maybe as a child, they didn't have money for shoes because they didn't have that. And so now that they're older, they want to buy lots and lots of shoes, and maybe they just kind of go overload and it's expensive. And so the one spouse that has an experience that has a hard time understanding that, and every time they bring a conversation to bear, they just shut down and they have a hard time managing that conversation. And then one person's like, what's going on? And then they trigger each other. So being able to just dig under, one, have an understanding of how that looks like for the couple dynamic, how that influences communication, and then learning what to do so you don't fall into those patterns that end up being very divisive, and damaging is really helpful.
Absolutely. And we know that there's a stigma surrounding mental health, especially in some cultures. And I think it's absolutely beautiful and amazing that Family Bridges is creating an environment with programs, workshops, coaching, and support groups. Can you dive a little bit deeper about these programs within your organization, how they empower families?
But you said it, stigma. So many of us want to go get help You got to go through this whole idea of, oh, am I going to just bare naked my emotions in front of someone that I don't know? You got to kind of walk through that. Say you overcome that, then you have to say, wow, well, I have to have insurance, and who do I go to, and do they speak my language? So there's a lot of that, and newer, younger generations are more and more comfortable with that. But new immigrants come into the United States, it's not that easy, or different generations. It's not as comfortable for us to go to someone and say, I need help. I need someone to coach me through this. And so that's what we do. We bring these programs in a way that is non-threatening, in workshop settings and educational events that are hosted in existing organizations that people are familiar with and comfortable with, whether that's their local church, whether that's your local community center, whether that's their school, and it's facilitated by other people that look like them, and it breaks down these ideas, right, in a way that's simple, that it's active, that is dynamic, through role plays, through opportunities for people to practice new ways of understanding, new ways of thinking through problems and solving them. And then they start talking to each other. So parents start sharing their challenges with their teenage kids or their younger kids, and they're going, oh, wait, I'm not the only parent that's dealing with this. And another parent's able to go back and share what they've done to deal with the circumstance. And so that in itself breaks down isolation and helps people feel supported. And then they have a network of support that helps them pull through. And often that's all that people need, right? They need that community of support. Beyond that, some people need a coach, someone that can come alongside them. So some of our youth programs, we have volunteers who are from the community that they can come in and speak to the youth and help them navigate the questions and the challenges that they have.
Absolutely. Alicia, we're going to have to leave it there for a moment. I'm going to come back with you in a moment to continue our conversation about family bridges. You're listening to Get Down to Business. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Down to Business. We're continuing our conversation with Dr. Alicia Laus, a licensed clinical psychologist, the founder of Family Bridges. We've been chatting about the just incredible work being done at Family Bridges, a unique approach combining faith-filled principles with scientifically based practices, truly inspiring. And Alicia, Family Bridges is celebrating 20 years, a 20th anniversary. What are some of the organization's proudest accomplishments during that time?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Well, one of the things that was really exciting was when we developed the radio soap opera that aired in 26 markets worldwide, Que Gente Mi Gente in Spanish, where we used the science of story and education to just bring about, you talk about 87 different relationship concepts like substance abuse and teenage pregnancy and all these things that families across different generations and just different types of families deal with in a way that would be fun and really relevant. And each of those episodes had blogs and resources that people could participate in. They're still available. So I think that was one of the amazing programs. The second one is our Avanza program, which is, basically now we call it Casademia. So which is all of our resources and programs. We've been able to toolkit them and put them online and make them, with video resources so that different organizations that want to be able to get trained can receive those programs, and it makes it easier to access. And we do that not only here in the United States, but are able to do that in Latin America. So I think being able to, and we're constantly creating new products and new programs that address some of the common issues that we're seeing today. And I think third is the strong and robust impact, collective impact model, where we not only work on our own, but we work with a plethora of quite a diverse group of organizations that then rally around our vision and our mission and are in their communities and are trained in our programs and our processes, have access to all these products, and we consult with them, we work with them to then roll that out. And that has led us to really be able to serve a wide spectrum of organizations as well as people, everything from children ages 4 years old to adults.
We're having this conversation as we're diving into a brand new year, 2025, and Family Bridge is celebrating 20 years, but looking forward as well. Obviously, I want to make sure our listeners can get in touch, and I'd love it if you can share how we can support your work and learn more about Family Bridges. But also, if you don't mind, tell us that as well as about this special new board game, Golden Bridges, which you're offering to new monthly donors. Tell us about that as well.
Yes, yes. Please visit our website at familybridgesusa.org to learn more about all of these programs. But yes, we partnered with Fig Factor Foundation and we created a dynamic game so that all of these skills, gratitude, and forgiveness and fun, we put it all in a fun game that everyone, you don't have to go to a workshop or come out, you can access this in a fun and creative way. And so for the donors that enroll with us, they're able to receive that game. It's also available in our store if you want to just purchase the game. But yes, we'll invite you to visit our website at familybridgesusa.org, and all of that content is available in Spanish and in English as well.
Congratulations on 2 decades of just amazing accomplishments. And here's to the next decade and beyond, and the impact that you're having, truly changing lives, families, and breaking stigma, as we've talked about over the past few minutes. Thank you so much, Dr. Alicia Laus, for inspiring us. And that's going to be a wrap for us this week on Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. What a year 2024 has been. We've got a lot more in store for the upcoming year, and you don't want to miss a single episode, so make sure you get on your favorite podcast app, subscribe, rate, review, and share. And I love to hear feedback from our listeners. Just go to my website, syklein.com, and click the contact page. I love to hear from our listeners. And by the way, the contact details for, of course, all of our guests, we make it super easy, whether it's a business or an organization that we've been profiling. They're all there and convenient to access and share. Once again, to success, let's get down to business. We'll see you next Sunday right here on 856 The Answer, wherever podcasts can be found.